Hey everyone, hopefully you're having a good day. My name's Andy. My channel's Finding Value. Today we're going to do our daily technical analysis update of commodities. We'll work our way through the dollar, yields, precious metals, and commodities ETFs that I follow. I'll interject my financial opinions as we go through it, and if you need help with anything, check out finding-value.com. We have a special going on. Special is a coupon code for both the monthly and yearly memberships. We also have a 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time Sunday meeting coming up for Q&A sessions, and you can interact with me directly through a Zoom meeting. All right, so let's dive in. Let's take a look, see what is going on today. Starting with the DXY, and again, I still think this looks like we could go higher. We've got the pattern. So when you look at all this stuff, you look for structure. Like these double bottoms here, those are reversal patterns there. Those two double bottoms produce upward movements. So we see that. And then the structure here that I'm seeing is a falling wedge. Now that'll last for a little bit. We've broken to the upside of the wedge, did a retest, created a higher high. We came back down in kind of a falling wedge formation. Falling wedges are bullish. We also have a bullish engulfing candlestick today. Those all point to upward pressures, a bottoming pressure. So I know there's a lot of people saying the dollar is going to fall, but I think we could see a counter move in the short term, perhaps before that occurs. Yields are moving higher, and that is a big driver of dollar strength. The 2-year yield's up 1%. And again, I said we had this weird one-day move here where I'm like, all right, let's see what happens. Well, we're still creeping higher here. These are bullish patterns in the circle there, creeping on up. So I don't know if what they did was on purpose here. I can't remember what was that day that they did August 1st. Oh goodness. Now I can't remember what that day was. They released some news to try to prevent this from breaking out. Can't remember what it was. Anyway, moving higher. That looks good, and I think we could break higher. The dollar and yields here, they're moving up at this time. 10-year yield is up 0.87%. We're sitting on top of structures. When you build a structure, so here's a bottoming pattern: shoulder, head, shoulder. It broke out there. We're cruising higher. This is a downward facing structure here. We call it a flag pattern. So when you move upwards, you get flag patterns that look like this, right? So those are continuation moves. We've broken the flag pattern to the upside, did a retest, and we're still on top of the pattern. So I think we could see it go higher. This is the 10-year yields. And then the 30-year yield, again, here's your structure. We've broken that to the upside. So shoulder, head, shoulder, bottoming pattern. That bottoming pattern is from all the way back, even, back here, we had a shoulder, head, shoulder topping pattern back in the early 80s. Came all the way down to the bottom of a shoulder, head, shoulder bottoming pattern. And we're starting to move up. And this is a continuation pattern in that circle there. So yeah, I think we could go higher with yields. The trend is up, put it that way. Bond prices are down a little bit today, and that's as expected with yields going up. What we're doing is we're consolidating here in that circle. The downtrend, there's the shoulder, head, shoulder, top, the downward move, and yields are just flipped. This is all flipped for yields. And we'll see if we can bust out lower, maybe not higher, but we're still in the pattern. We'll see what occurs. The 2 and the 10, we've got a falling wedge, and we're chopping sideways on top of the falling wedge. So you get a breakout, retest. The circle is the retest. And maybe we could reinvert the curve with yields going up and the dollar going up. I know. Some people say, no, it's going to go down. That's not what I see. And really what you're arguing, and I don't know what makes their opinion a lot of the times is, well, that's what I've read, or that's what I've done. And it's like, you got to look at positioning, guys. Positioning in the market will tell you which way it's going to go. You can't use news. You can't use a financial opinion from an expert unless it's derived from positioning in the market, I would say. So this is a tricky spot. And you know, are we going to reinvert? Are we going to go down? I don't think anybody knows. I think the market is confused, and that's what we're trying to figure out. TYX TNX ratio, a little bit of a pullback today on that ratio. So no big tailwind behind gold with DXY up and the way that the yield curves are moving. So gold's flat today. We are right at this breakout. I know there's some tariff information that's been released stating that there's going to be tariffs on imported gold of certain sizes. We're right at resistance. So we're getting some resistance though. We have a nice little wick at the top there. We did get some momentum coming back down. So we'll see if we can break through here or if we stay below it. Silver's up a little bit, 0.67%. Again, everything looks really good from the longer term perspective on silver. And I think we're just going to continue higher with time. Platinum down a little bit today. But this still looks a little bit ugly. It could be a one that moves something like this. I still think that's possible. I'll leave that posted up there or written on there. Palladium's still pulling back. You can see some selling pressure through there. And you know, a lot of the times when you get through these double bottoms, you get a pullback or consolidation right here. Happens all the time. I'll show you in copper what that one looks like and some of these other ones. So we're getting a pullback in palladium here. And we're getting stronger support starting at 11.15 and maybe all the way down to 10.50 or so. XE to gold ratio is up a little bit. So the gold and silver mining companies outperforming gold just a little bit. And we are starting our journey to the upside for gold and silver mining company outperformance. GDX is up a little bit today, 0.2%. Just a little guy there. Looks good. A lot of the times when you start to break through a little bit more resistance like this, you get like a breakout and then a retest. That can happen quite often. GDXJ doing something very similar. We're up above support resistance, and then you do a little bit of a retest perhaps. Then SILJ is up 1%, and we could pause here a little bit. I'm not saying that I know the future, but usually when you break through some of these big areas, it gets sold back to the support breakout area. That could happen. Not stating that I know it will happen, but it could happen. Crude oil down a little bit today. We're right on support. We've got these small little down candlesticks. Not much selling pressure. Those generally resolve upward. If you move up, like it has, 3 big candlesticks up, and then just small leak off sellers. Right back to support. TTF gas down 2%. And again, I think this is going to be a bottoming pattern. We'll see if I'm right or wrong. And we could do a slingshot here where we pull back further than what we should have, below 31.50 for sure. And that would create a potential slingshot. So I'd be looking for bottoming patterns right in this general area. Natural gas down 2.22. And again, we haven't put in a bottom yet here. So this is an upward facing pattern which projects lower. I already drew the arrow there over here. And that's what we're doing. We're kind of consolidating and moving a little bit lower in the short term. Our boy XOP, yeah, you know me, up a little bit today. I put a downward facing flag pattern as a potential possibility. We'll see if that plays out that way. And OIH is up a little bit, 0.72%, and that's been moving sideways in a channel. These still could go lower. I'm not stating that we've got bottoms 100% in place and we're just going to rip. We could see some volatility here in the fall, and we'll see what happens. Newcastle coal futures down just slightly, down 0.65%. I think this is bottomed and it's trying to work its way on up. Could we do something like this? Oh yeah, we could. We could bounce all around. But for the most part, it doesn't look bad. And I'm looking at the candlesticks, the size of the green candlesticks versus the size of the reds. And I didn't read a book on what I'm telling you and describing here. I've just seen so many charts that I can see these patterns go over and over and over. If you look at a million charts plus, you see that. Sprott Physical Uranium Trust is still squeezed up on here, kind of squeezing up here uh, in this whole area. You can see the big greens and the small reds kind of out there outside of yesterday. I still think it's going higher. We're sitting on top of a pattern. And that's what you have to remind yourself. You're on top of a pattern. Be bullish. You're on top of a pattern. Be bullish. Uranium sideways, and that looks like it's trying to bottom here and work its way on up. URA a little bit lower, down 1.5%. Not a lot of selling pressure. It's muted, so that looks good. Same with URNM, not a lot of selling pressure. And URNJ, we had a fun little day. It's a pretty volatile day, but just up just a teeny bit today. So we're above support. We're above, the trend line. Everything looks good. Nickel's up a little bit, 0.2%. I think we're going to start to head higher here in nickel. I'd be looking for entry points. That's what I'd be doing for entry points in nickel companies and seeing what those charts look like. Copper's up 1.9%, looking good. It looks like we're trying to bottom and turn here, so that looks good for copper. COPX, the equities are up quite a bit, so that's a positive thing. The equity. So here's your double bottom, your breakout, your retest. And then I made the comment, well, what was that? That was it was Silj. Silj was doing something like this. I think that's the one I made a comment on. One of them up there. And this looks good to go higher. Looks absolutely fantastic to go higher here for COPX. And it's moving. So I'd expect copper prices to continue higher too. Lithium looking really good. We are up 2.3%. We're in an up move. This is a bottom, double bottom there. We have a falling wedge into a double bottom, and then we're going to break through this resistance area that's ahead of us. And then I think we're going to start a run. And we'll probably have a little bit of a pause there. Oh, it's palladium that I was talking about. That's what it was. Palladium's going through this right now. It's going through this move. Lithium's just a little bit before it. REMX doing the same thing. You break out, you kind of get a retest, and then you run. So rare earths are fantastic. Here's your squeeze up, your double bottom, just like lithium. Lithium's positioned like here versus REMX. And palladium's in the same, it's a very similar setup. And sometimes they come back like this. It's the way they do it. Iron ore, moving on up, 0.4%. Again, I'd be watching this thing for and move higher. This looks fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. It doesn't mean we'll just shoot higher. I'd just be looking for that progressive move on up. Aluminum still underneath the 2650 level. We're looking for a move higher. We were up a little bit today. We're flagging out, and we'll see if we can punch through at some point out in the future. We've got Baltic Dry Index up a little bit, 0.7%. Again, I think we're going to go higher. We've broken the big pattern. This is your pattern here. And yeah, that looks fantastic. Emerging markets down slightly with the dollar up. But again, we're in an uptrend, guys. We are in a bull market. Do not confuse that. Higher, higher, higher. And this is going to, in my opinion, this is going to be a big consolidation from here to here. And then this will be the move up to new heights somewhere up there, wherever it's going to be. We've got Mu. Again, I'm bullish Mu. There's nothing that you're really going to tell me to be unbullish here. It's a breakout retest, and then we're moving higher. We've got KRE up 1.21%. And again, I think we're going higher. We're on support. XHB is up 0.4%. Again, double bottom. And we're moving on up and broken through resistance. So that looks good. We've got Russell 2000. Now this is, we could go lower here. This is a inverted flag pattern where we could head a little bit lower. The SPX, again, I want to see what happens here. Could we go lower here? It's possible. And what happens is you get a big selling pressure move like these two candlesticks, and then it struggles to get back up to the top. And then you get unloaded. You get like a bearish engulfing pattern here or something like that. And then you head lower. We'll see if that occurs. NASDAQ up 1%. This thing just keeps going up, but we're underneath resistance here, that trend line. So we've resistance right up above us. I can extend it out to like that on top there. We'll see what happens. Dow Jones down a little bit. Still, we've got stronger selling pressure, a consolidation that is not bouncing very strongly, another bearish engulfing, and we were down today. We'll see if we punch through support or not. XLI, again, this is a bear flag, potentially, that we could head a little bit lower in. The reason I'm favoring bear flags here is because of the valuations. As valuations get creeped up to nosebleed levels, I'm looking for potential bearish patterns. So there is a little bit of a bias in what I'm looking at from me. And I use ratios and valuations as a bias. And I'm biased upward in other sectors because of the valuations and stuff. SMCI down 4%. That looks pretty ugly. NVIDIA is still going up somehow. Still got the momentum. Bitcoin's down a little bit. That still looks good to go higher. It's no reversal candlestick. Ethereum up, breaking out. That looks fantastic. Been bullish. This is your bottom here. It's a shoulder, head, shoulder. The breakout, the consolidation, move higher, and yeah, we're still moving higher in Ethereum. MicroStrategy's down a little bit, but still looks okay. And the VIX is down about 8%, breaking lower here. Plunge protection team is doing its job. But that's all I've got for today, guys. We'll end it there. Give me a thumb up for the content. Subscribe to the channel. We've got a 5 p.m. Mountain Time question and answer session on Sunday. So I'll see you guys there. Ask me whatever you'd like. I know I've got some questions already sent to me. And that's all I've got for today. So we'll catch you next time. This is Finding Value.